Today is day 6 of our prosperity coaching 21 days to a healthier, wealthier, more beautiful you. Today's mantra is wisdom. So, we talked a little bit about wisdom yesterday when we talked about faith, right? And you don't want to have blind faith, especially in somebody who may not have your best interests at heart or who may be simply not informed. A lot of people, we place a lot of our faith in people that may not have a time proven system. They may actually be a salesperson hired. So much of what we have is sold to us. As we go throughout our days. I once was at a fish counter and I said, which fish? And of course, the guy held up the biggest fish, right? Not necessarily the one that would be right for my family that day, but the one that he felt like he could sell me a big sale. So if we think about that and we actually acknowledge that a lot of times that person may be compensated to sell us something different from what we need, or that they may have to, because the way life is, have their own interests placed above ours, right? Then we know we have to be the boss of our life, the boss of our money. And that can be actually very empowering, right? If we are increasing our wisdom, if we're using time proven systems, if we are willing to accept the responsibility so that we can proceed through life. Not that there won't be curveballs, setbacks, things we get wrong. All of those things can happen, right? But we proceed forward. There's really no growth without mistakes. There's really no advancement without a setback. So we don't expect our lives to be perfect, but again, the more that we can rely upon wisdom rather than blind faith, the better off we're going to be. And I'm going to teach you a tool today. Um, if you're listening to this in the morning, you don't have to do this right now, but knowing how to do this, maybe you can do it at the end of today. It's definitely something you want to have in your toolkit, and it's called the fire ritual. So all you need is a blank piece of paper like this. And what we want to do is we want to acknowledge the things that we would like to improve in our lives. So in other words, it's our gripe list, right? Our worries, our doubts, our fears, our gripes. So basically, the reason that I want you to take a piece of paper and fold it in half is that I only want you to use one half of the paper. So the other half will be completely blank. So what I'd like you to do is line by line, write down your worries, doubts, and fears. I'm worried that I won't have enough to retire. I'm worried that I'll never be able to afford to buy a home. I'm worried that, I might lose my job. I'm worried about my kids going to college. Whatever it is that you are concerned about, even if it's not financial, it might be, I really have a sick child and I'm worried about how to get this child well. Whatever it is, write it down, but write one line at a time. Don't write a story. Okay. And then once you get all of your gripes, worries, doubts, and fears written down, then you're going to open it up to have that blank side. And the solution to our problems is actually something that we know, because it's the exact opposite of the problem. The problem is that we don't know how to get there, right? So just having magical thinking and saying, oh, well, I'm not going to acknowledge any problems in my life, that doesn't necessarily solve the problem. Although it's pointing us in the right direction, it's saying, hey, we do want to have the solution, but we need an action to get us there. So what I like to do with the fire ritual, and again, some of these are designed to help your subconscious solve the problem for you. So in the fire ritual, you start out by addressing the exact opposite, because that's the direction that the solution is pointing in. So if it is, I'm worried that I'll never be able to buy a house because prices are so high, then you start the solution side on the blank side by saying, I'm so glad that I'm saving up for the down payment so that when prices come down, I will be able to buy my house. And maybe I'll even assume somebody else's mortgage so I get a good interest rate. Now, you might not have the wisdom to be able to answer all that yet, but the goal would be to start accumulating that life math that we all should have received in high school so that you can answer those questions and you can solve those problems instead of feeling paralyzed and fearless and fearful. Let's say it's one about your child being sick. So again, I'm so glad that I kept looking for the perfect doctor who improved my child's um, immune system, and now he rarely gets sick. That actually happened to me. I had a sick child, he had recurring ear infections, and the doctor kept saying, "Oh, well, we're going to put him on a low dose antibiotic year round." I went to the UCLA Biomedical Library. I realized that that was a very downward spiraling thing that was going to result in potentially even hearing loss. I was at my wit's end, and I just asked everybody I knew, who's the doctor I should go to? Who's the doctor I should go to? And someone, lo and behold, gave me this particular doctor who works on identifying the triggers, so the things the child may be allergic to, and improving the immune system. And it really worked. And the key here, again, was wisdom. I knew that what the medical advice I was being given was not right. I was frustrated because I didn't know the right answer, and I found the person who did. So a lot of times it is going to be that we do need to seek out help, okay? So again, first you're writing down your problems, then you're writing down the solution, but realize that the solution has an action in there. Now, what if you don't know what the right action is? Well, oftentimes the right action is going to be to find someone with a time-proven solution that can assist you. So someone with greater wisdom who can assist you. But sometimes it's a different thing. I'll give you another real world one. This one was I had a business, we were in the business of educating people about finances, right? I had chosen that over having my own hedge fund and going into financial services side because I wanted to help Main Street rather than just make rich people richer. Nothing wrong with rich people. That was just my passion lies, right? But it's a low margin business. And I was really tired of paying all the independent contractors who worked for us and not paying myself. And I was burned out and I just didn't know what to do about it. So I wrote down, I'm really sick of my business. I don't even like it anymore. And I just don't know what to do. That was the problem. On the solution, I said, and again, a lot of this, again, I'm telling you, I want to tap this subconscious. What I wrote down for myself, and I did this in Santa Monica with a group, I wrote down, I'm so glad that I've fallen in love with my business again because, and I didn't know what to write down. And out of nowhere, some thought came spiraling in, and it said, because I took myself out of the situation, I went to Italy for a month, meditated. When I came back, I knew what to do. That's the thought that came in from my subconscious. And believe it or not, remember I told you that sometimes magic happens as you step forward into the right way. Immediately, I had a windfall I wasn't expecting of about $8,000. I booked the trip to Italy. I went, and here I am now in love with the business again. So have faith that by using wisdom and the other tools that we've already talked about. Now, you are not after 2 days going to be, forgiving all of the people that you have resentments for, but you know now how to start on that path, and that's going to benefit you even more than it benefits them, that it's the gift that you give yourself. You know that breathing more deeply is going to help. You know that leading with love, what would love do, is going to be very helpful for you. You also understand now that gratitude and just counting your blessings and taking the time to look at the little things in your life that are there to just give you joy, but noticing them. That's where the gratitude lies a lot of times, is noticing them, right? All right, so back to wisdom. And here you have this piece of paper with the problems and the solutions. So, what I want you to do after you write down all of the solutions for yourself is I want you to really wet that seam between the two of them. And then I want you to tear them apart so that you have the problems in one hand, the solutions in another hand. In the solutions, what I like to do is fold it in four and then put it in my pillow, because then I'm not necessarily thinking about it obsessively, but when I go to wash my sheets, I'll look at it again, right? You're going to find that if you do the fire ritual once every 6 months or whenever, however often you want to, that you will actually solve a lot of these problems and you'll have new challenges that come up. The problems, that's where the fire ritual comes in. You can actually burn them. Or, if you can't do that safely without creating a lot of extra smoke or whatever, then, just tear it up real finely and recycle it. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. And you got this. See you tomorrow.